So recently I said there wouldn't be any videos, which is true, but this is up to me when I make them. With YouTube acting like the way it is, I just wanted to talk about stuff that make me happy. So I've been playing games that make me happy. I've been not recording anything, because honestly YouTube is not making me happy. But I do want to talk about a video game, and I know for a fact that it's going to get restricted because the game itself isn't exactly child friendly. Mordhau, or Mordhau, or however you pronounce it, is a medieval combat video game. You play either one of three modes, one of which I've not tried yet, because it doesn't interest me. The first mode is Frontline, which is essentially team-based combat, team deathmatch, or team objective deathmatch. The second is Battle Royale, I need not explain that one. And the third is Horde, where you play PvE, player versus environment. For now, I've played mainly the Frontline, trying to get the grips of the combat, and I've recently started trying the Battle Royale just to see what it was like. And I've got to say, this game is fun. This game is, while it's not the best looking game, doesn't matter. The game looks good as it is, but its combat is one of those things where it's easy to learn, hard to master deal. Especially when you have to sort of predict what other players are going to do. And even then, thanks to the fact that I've been playing Sekiro, I've been getting very good at the whole timing distant thing. Doesn't mean I'm actually doing very well at the game. In fact, I am terrible at the game. But I'm having fun. And it's been a while since I've done that. So, what do I do now? Well, I'm going to start talking about more of it. So the game is basically medieval killing and maiming the other team or players, whatever you want to do. The customization is huge, but it requires an in-game currency, and I'm extremely thankful that the game company hasn't kind of forced a microtransaction thing into it. It seems that whoever made it, of which I do not remember off the top of my head, hang on, I will find out just by going on the store page. It is developed by a company I've not actually heard before. Oh, they do have a couple of like support packs, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to buy them. You actually don't need to. The game itself is fine by itself. So in the store page, the game is described as a Mordhau is a multiplayer medieval slasher. Create your mercenary and fight in brutal battles where you experience fast-paced combat, castle sieges, cavalry charges, and more. The developer is Tritemeon? Don't know how to pronounce it. I might flash it on the screen or something, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to actually make this into a video. About this game, it's described as a medieval first/third-person multiplayer slasher. Enter a hectic battlefield of up to 64 players, although recently they they dropped that down to 32 due to performance issues, which I completely understand. As a mercenary in a fictional but realistic world where you'll get to experience the brutal, satisfying melee combat, which will have you always come back for more, which is actually true. I've only played 6 hours so far, and I'm only kind of sort of getting the hang of the combat. Itself is very reminiscent of Chivalry, but this game, it seems has a bit more depth, especially with the fact that your customizable characters are completely up to you. There is a bit of a system where you cannot put... It has a 12-point system on each character, so each thing that you put on, barring cosmetics, do cost you extra points. And I quite like that. There are massive battles, cooperative and offline play, free-for-all melee with ranged combat. When you move your mouse around, there's a dot in the center which acts as your reticule, and the arrow that kind of comes off it is the indication of where your attack is going to begin the swing. Sculpt your face, create weapons from parts, and pick out individual pieces of armor to create the perfect warrior. with the fact that there's a leveling system, I haven't got very much in the way, of the stuff, but it's really cool that they do actually take an incredible amount of time. It does take an incredible amount of time to like make anything, which means when you're building, you're also thinking, well, if I put all this armor on, I'm going to be slow as hell, but I'm going to take a few extra hits. Fight anywhere, so you can play. You can quite literally. That is almost literal. There is cavalry. There's a couple of horses, and they are one of the most annoying things on the battlefield to fight, unless you've got a long weapon. I've knocked like one person off the horse. There is actual siege stuff. You can actually build small to moderate-sized, like, what's the word? Essentially fences and punji stick, not punji sticks, just pointed sticks, just to slow down the battlefield. The siege engine, so there is catapults and small ballista. Visceral and gory combat, so there is a lot of gore. It's quite fun, although that's completely optional. You can turn that off if you want. It feel believable fights according to this, but even then, honestly, the combat is really good. It has a mostly positive rating on Steam, which is where I purchased it, because I still refuse to use the what do you call it? The crappy thing known as, what's it called? Epic Games Store. I'm not buying anything off that until they fix everything. I've got pretty much every other game front, but I refuse to buy that one. Oh, someone actually posted it was unplayable. Well, they clearly can't do it. But anyway, it's... Oh, that is the best bit. You can buy a loot, and you can play whatever you want on it. I've not tried this yet, but it's pretty much the first thing I'm gonna do, and you can walk around playing the loot. And the three things that I remember people playing on it, it's not like a classic, oh, they're gonna play this boring medieval crap. I've heard someone play one of the Doom themes, like the Doom music, like not the new one, classic Doom. And I've also heard Pirates of the Caribbean and Game of Thrones. It was good. What I'm looking for, though, is for them to spend a bit more time on the functionality of the game. I did turn some of the graphics down, which I found improved. Like, I did turn some of the settings down, I should say, which improved the gameplay to a degree, but it didn't exactly fix all the problems. It does have a problem with stuttering on occasion, and that does make, in case, some actions almost impossible, and I have died due to that, but it's not bad. Even death in this is kind of funny, because sometimes when your head falls off, the camera stays on your head, in your eyes, so you just get a lovely visual of your head just rolling around in first person. Pew! Yeah, that's it. If you are looking for a decent game that is melee, and you like chivalry and those type of games, I would highly recommend it. This isn't sponsored or anything, because honestly, I still have issues with my channel being basically invisible. But anyway, excuse me. The supporter pack. What do you get in the supporter pack? There is a support, like a DLC type thing in the game, but I think it's just... So the package goods for those who wish to go to the extra mile to support the thing. Mordhau soundtrack, medallion, a cosmetic, and a banner, a mercenary in-game banner. So the soundtrack is 9 tracks, which is pretty damn good. But you can buy that on Bandcamp online, but that's alright. Alright. So essentially, if you want to pay an extra 10 quid for 2 cosmetics and the soundtrack, go for it. It's not my place to tell you what to do, although if they that's again up to you. I'm gonna put some gameplay of this in the background, although you will have watched this the entire way through, and I don't guarantee that you're gonna see me playing any good. But I may do more talks on this sometime in the future. I don't know. Thanks for watching. if any of you see it, press a like, say a comment. That's up to you. Let me know what you think in the description. And I'll see you next time. Bye.